second place and you passed me, what place are you in?
First.
First place?
Yes.
I'm in second place and you passed me. Well, how would you be in first place?
Because I passed you. I passed you, so I'm in first.
I'm in second place, though.
Congratulations. Now I'm in first because I passed you. I passed you. Are we running? Are we driving? It doesn't matter. I passed you. I'm in first.
All right. So yeah, I should have levels. Shout out to you. Nah, I wasn't muted. I actually wasn't talking. I was getting my microphone together, and I should be loud and clear right now. Should be loud and clear. I'm actually probably a little too loud. So let me turn that down. Been working on that. Make sure all of that, those connections are straight. I see you, Monica Mo Justice. How you doing? Shorty doing their thing over there. We be catching your channel from time to time. When you go live, I be in the clouds. I be working, so I'm not able to like comment and fully listen in, but I do see you doing your thing. Shout out to Monica Mo Justice. Definitely shout out to Mahogany Roots and MJ. And shout out to Brenda Clark with the shits. You know what I'm saying? Those of y'all that have memberships, make sure you guys use those custom emojis. You know what I'm saying? We do have those. Here go Brenda Clark with the shit custom emoji. We are simulcasting live on both the home of the official YT Purge, as well as Auntie's The Boiler Room. All right. So right now, what's the topic today? Guess what? There ain't one. What up, Drip Zone? Salute. You know what I'm saying? What up, New? I see you in the building. I saw Handling Jones too. Adrienne Nicole. Hey, sis. How you doing? I know you just celebrated your 22nd birthday. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you coming through. You know what I'm saying? You only turned 22 once. So happy belated birthday to you. But I know I made sure I gave you a happy birthday wishes on that birthday. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the space for kind of stepping the game up over the last, week or two. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of, you know what I'm saying, moving away from the old school shit. You know what I'm saying? The other sector's been doing their thing. They're able to turn anything into a topic and stretch it out from what I've been able to see. So I always give them a shout out because, you know what I'm saying, there's been channels over on the other sides that sometimes I'm not able to catch it as much as I'm able to catch in like the algorithm that I'm primarily sub to. So every time I tune in, it is always entertaining. I don't even have to be knowing the people on the panels, or even what the topic is, but somehow, some way, folks are still able to keep my attention. So shout out to all of them. That being, you know what I'm saying, the black sector, the Mo3 sector, the beef sector, you know what I'm saying, over there in the conscious community. What up, Rogue C? I got Rogue C in the building. Lover Girl Confessions. Rogue C with the purple heart. And shout out to Just My 5 Cents, who might be asleep at the moment. I don't know. But we had a great show, body camera breakdowns and reactions yesterday. Definitely enjoyable. And like I said, the panel is open if anybody wants to come up. Few things that I really wanted to talk about, or did I want to talk about? I didn't even plan on going live this morning. But, hey, I got to work in a couple hours. So didn't make sense to go back to sleep or do anything. I was just over at Bearded Conversations myself, Coffee Nino, and we talked about a lot of things. Talked about parenting, talked about, of course, the community, talked about some kind of political stuff, just talked about a bunch of just stuff, just a bunch of men on the panel, just talking a bunch of random shit, which was pretty cool. So we'd like to get back to some just cool, random, you know what I'm saying, fun conversations. You know what I'm saying? Not the same old bullshit narrative. I get it. Every sector, every space, most of these channels, it's kind of like one conversation every single day. But this is Ant's Morning Rant, so I'm about to talk about a bunch of different things. So one of the things that, what up, old man Low? Salute. Again, the panel's open. The link is pinned. So if anybody wants to come up, feel free to do so. You're more than welcome to do so at any time that you want. Feel free to come up and cut me off. But I'm going to start ranting about this. One thing, she said, thank goodness for the morning rant. Definitely. I am already on, I don't know, my second, third thermos or whatever. Got the second wind, ready to get the day started and finish the week properly. I had a case of the Mondays earlier this week, but this week has flown by. We was able to put that bounty scam gate shit to bed. I'm pretty sure some other folks are still going to talk about it. I could personally care less. So we are done with that. That's all I got to say as far as that's concerned. I see you, Emo. One of the things that's kind of been taking the spaces over, not just the political spaces, not just the MAGA sectors, you know what I'm saying, and the liberal pro-black sectors and everything, was this Charlie Kirk situation, the Charlie Kirk assassination, which is wild. And shout out to DS1. He did an entire show on it, yesterday, and I gotta agree with DS1's take on it. his take on it was just what it is. Look, here's what I got to say on this. When it comes to folks that are no longer living, I have no problem, challenging, their talking points, especially if they left a legacy, rather politically online. Whether politically online, if they did it with social activism, if they did it in business, whatever. I don't mind, criticizing, talking points or just kind of like ideology, whatever. But the disrespect and slander and death, I think it's just extremely cowardice when folks do it, because I know none of them are going to pull up to the funeral and give a negative eulogy. They wouldn't do that. So I usually say, out of respect for one's family members and loved ones, if I don't really have anything good to say, I don't really say anything at all. You know what I'm saying? But overall, in the spaces, I've heard a lot of different things. Didn't know they were calling it an assassination. That's what it was. I mean, it was an assassination, 200 yards away. You know what I'm saying? Direct shot to the carotid artery. You know what I'm saying? Squirt, squirt. Like, yeah, that's an assassination, man. I just say, look, if you want to cheer for that, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a spot reserved in hell for you. So, hopefully you can happily burn, in that spot, and that's whether you was a fan of somebody or not, because it wasn't cool when they made the attempt on Donald Trump's life. It wouldn't be cool. It wasn't cool, of course, when they were successful in their attempts on people like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. It wasn't cool when they made the attempt on President Reagan's life. It wasn't cool when they hit JFK. You know what I'm saying? That assassination attempts on U.S. soil, especially when one is exercising their First Amendment, it's not cool. That's just my take on it. If that can happen to people because of the shit that they talk on the internet, then that means all of us are susceptible to an assassination. So to cheer that would be to cheer your own assassination, because it can easily be you, just because people disagree with you. That's not, cool. So whether or not I agree with talking points, which I don't agree with anybody all of the time. I can never do it. But I'm never going to agree with an assassination of a 31-year-old man that wasn't any type of like PDF dude, wasn't no callous killer himself, none of that. So, I mean, come on. Even if you disagree with somebody's talking points like that, at least, give them a chance to evolve in their way of thinking, and they're 31 years old, come on. Chances are you're not going to think the entire same way at age 40 or age 50 or age 60 or whatever. But, no, I don't think anybody should have their life taken from them. Should have their life taken from them. Because it's one thing to lose your life, and it's another thing to have it just taken from you like that. Like, I don't think people understand the magnitude of an assassination. Like, it's taken from you. Because of the shit that you talked into a microphone. Like, come on, man. In a nation where you have the First Amendment is freedom of speech, man. I mean, if you agree with that, that's one thing. That's not really cool. But hell, if you cheering that, bro, you're low. Like, you're low on the totem pole, bro. Like, for real, you're low on the moral spectrum. That's just the way I see it, But I get it, I'm saying? A lot of people like clicks, views, shock value, and shit like that. So, what I'm saying? They could do that. And shout out to Rogue C. I got Rogue C in the building. You mind if I drop this? Overlay, sis?
Go for it. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Me and you up here. What's up?
Hey, good morning. So I didn't want to, cut you off or say.
Nah, that's all good. I had no topic. I just been up all night, so that means I'm going to be up for a good portion of the day. So it's all good.
I just, when you said the evolution of, a person and not letting them kind of get cut down short like that.
Mm,
So yesterday I did make, it was an extreme comparison, right? So I'm not going to negate that. But yesterday I did make a comparison of how, the mustache man pretty much got started and the
mm,
propaganda and the way he spoke and the things he spewed. Now, again, to compare him to the mustache man, was it extreme? Absolutely. The point I was trying to make is how things do evolve into those kind of situations. Again, does the man deserve to lose his life? Absolutely not. Does the man's, unaliving deserve to be celebrated? Absolutely not. It's just a matter of putting that perception into mind that I'm kind of just sitting on.
mm-hmm. No, I agree. You can hear me? You still up here, sir?
Sorry, my
Okay.
alarm went off. Can you hear me? And I know
Oh,
you was
that's
doing
what's
the super
up. You
chat.
beat the alarm up this morning. Shout out to you. I thought I was the only one doing that these days. Beat that motherfucker, man. I don't never, hey, for real. I'm like, if that alarm beats me up in the morning, there's a problem. I don't know what happened to her. Hopefully she can come back up. It might have stopped her. And shout out to Deacon Dave for that $2 super chat or super sticker, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it because it's worth a $2 ball. Appreciate that. Rogue C's back. Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Sorry, what did you hear? Because my alarm went off, and I saw you doing your super chat.
Nah, it's cool. It's just a quick, you know what I'm saying, $2 holler for you, boy. What up, Deacon Dave, Big Cap? You feel free to repeat what you said.
Okay.
You were talking about just the assassination being and I'm gonna keep calling it that because that's what it was. But just being celebrated, and I
So,
wasn't even gonna talk about it today. I was gonna wait until my Sunday show till I did a little more research on it and let some more things unfold, and I will, but I'm not gonna be up here that long today.
well, like I said, I know I made an extremist point yesterday about it, and the point of being so extreme with it was to just kind of call out, yes, can things evolve? Can he have changed his rhetoric? Absolutely. But on the flip side, how the mustache man got started, it was his rhetoric as well that people gravitated to, that people followed to the point of where we ended up, with all that. So again,
Mm,
it's not to say that exactly he would have been like that, but again, to take out the possibility of it, that's where I kind of sit on the fence with it. And then
mhm.
again, I was also saying no. As far as celebrating his unaliving and, thinking he deserved it, I don't. But I do still see that side as well.
Hey, and I get it, and I mean, I get a lot of people. I mean, look, it's always going to be like liberal versus conservative, Republican
Mhm.
versus Democrat. You know, whatever. But now you got somebody that's dead.
Yeah.
They can't even challenge their talking points. So even like Tom's comment here, it's like, was he promoting, gun violence, or did he say should people be able, if you shoot if someone shoots you, you should be able to shoot them back. I always just say, look, just judging by like what I've heard, because I've listened to some Charlie Kirk rhetoric content. I would just tell everybody, listen to that damn content, and if you're gonna come at me with something, just give me a clip or something like that, and we'll talk about it. But I don't. There's been just a lot of interpretation, like and misinterpretation of stuff that was said. Do I agree with everything that dude said? A majority of it, no, no. But I'm not gonna label somebody, a nationalist or a supremacist when they're really just a right wing conservative. Like they're different things. Like they're three different things really. You know, so I don't remember anybody advocating for gun violence. I remember them defending the Second Amendment and people's right to bear arms. You know, but as far as shooting folks in the street, I'm like, just send me the excerpt, the clip. Feel free. You got wrenches. Put the link in the chat for it, and I'll play it, and we'll just interpret it. But I'm not going back and forth with all of that stuff because you can say the sky is blue, and then somebody's going to tell you, nah, you just said that it's raining out and there's going to be a lightning storm later, and it's a bunch of like, it's like, nah, I didn't say it. I just said the sky was blue. So people are kind of just interpreting things the way they want to. You know? You know? I'm like, I just say like the key word is was when they're like, oh, he was a good dude and blacks are sensitive to a fault. Look, I don't know the dude to know whether or not he was a good dude. So am I going to sit here and mourn him? Absolutely not. But my condolences go to his family and his loved ones, because those are the only ones that are left. So to sit here and shit on the guy in death at 31 years old, like, man, I'm like, folks, I'm not even saying have a heart, but just at some point have some mutual respect, because that could easily be you who's on the internet talking shit that no longer exists tomorrow morning. Knock on wood. And would you like people to take, a 10-second clipping of something that you said on the internet a year or two or a month ago or whatever, and just bring it in and just lump you in with every other, black person or whatever that said some crazy shit? I mean, at the end of the day, my condolences. Let them people rest. Let them people rest, man. And if I ain't got nothing good to say, I just won't say nothing.
I definitely feel for his family, because that's hard, no matter what your beliefs are, no matter who you are. I believe he had children, he had a wife. So, that's always tough. That's always sad. And I don't think, anyone should bother the family while they're grieving.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying. And I mean, I understand that that's what it is when you build a platform, based on that whole liberal conservative thing. You're gonna piss somebody off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're gonna piss people off, and if you have an untimely demise like that, this is gonna be the pushback. It's just there's no way that his family and loved ones could have been prepared for that, because that is pretty abrupt at that young age.
I don't disagree with Juju, though, because I do see a lot of black people just, I don't want to necessarily say cooning, but
yeah, I mean, all of that, he was a good dude stuff. I'm like, yo, y'all don't know the dude that well. You know what I'm saying? It's too many people on here just playing a character. So I wouldn't go that far. It's to say whether or not somebody's a good dude or not. But as far as I know, and like I said, I have listened to a decent amount of his debates and stuff like that. And I mean, it's on the same level as Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro or the hell ever. Like, literally the same damn thing. You debate a bunch of college students. You debate a bunch of college students. They come up and they say a bunch of shit, and then you spit out a bunch of rehearsed talking points at them.
So I'm not gonna lie, my ex-husband, he's a little more into this than I am, right? So he was trying to, I guess, debrief me on the situation. And, the guy is a little more radical. And, there's not, again, it's not to say he would have evolved into something evil. He wouldn't have. It's just a matter of, are you willing to stand on what you say to the point of being unalived?
But
And,
what was he radical?
Complex.
No, but was he radical, and how?
Again, I still have to do my own research. It's mostly from hearsay, so I definitely will, especially if you're doing it on Sunday.
No, I am going to do it, and I'm going to do a little more research, because that's what I mean. When people say radical, that's a broad word. So it's like, it's one thing to be radical when you say to hell with the system, to hell with the far left or whatever, and it's another thing to be radical when you saying that like whites are superior, and you're advocating for people to be shot. You know what I'm saying? And like, hey, from the Charlie Kirk content that I heard, what I heard was he's anti-illegal immigration, pro Second Amendment, blah, blah. It really wasn't much racially charged content.
So
it really wasn't even much. It wasn't racially charged. Huh?
If you're pro Second Amendment, and I'm just pointing out the irony at this point, right? You're pro Second Amendment, and that is the way you go. Again, not saying it's right.
I'm pro Second Amendment.
And you have a lot of people who are like, with what's going on in schools, what's going on, all this, we need some regulations. And if you are saying we don't need regulations, and then an unregulated situation does happen, I don't know.
No, I get it. What goes on in schools has nothing to do with the Second Amendment, though.
I'm talking about the lack of regulating how these arms are gotten and what are they used for. That's the only reason why I brought up the school situation.
And what does that have to do with the Second Amendment?
unfortunately, it is the Second Amendment, the arms, that is causing these issues in schools.
If you're purchasing and carrying a firearm legally, there's no way in hell it ends up in a school in an active shooter situation. You understand what I'm saying? The people that end up with firearms and shoot up schools are doing that in an illegal way to begin with. If it's like a person that's under the age of 21 in anywhere in the United States of America with a firearm, a law has been broken.
Yeah, but
It's been broken. And if you're bringing it into a school, and even if you are of age with your CCW and using it in that fashion, you are breaking the law, and should go to jail. So the Second Amendment does not give you the right to shoot up a school. Like there's no legal, what I'm saying? There's no legal reason for that. So
you're right. And I'm just saying, I might be correlating the two. And
that was always my point with it, just as a registered gun owner myself. Like the things that most people really talk about when it comes to that is you're talking about the illegal use of firearms. Like you're talking, like, literally, it's the illegal use of firearms. Like, what up, Truth?
What's going on? Good day to you both.
Chilling.
Good day, Truth.
Hey, baby sis. How are you?
And one thing before you go, Truth, I always said, I'm like, that was you. That was one of the original purposes for our Second Amendment. But at the same time, I do feel as though, yes, there should be some reform, because you're talking about the Second Amendment was put in place when people were literally like packing gunpowder into the barrels of rifles. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Almost 500 years ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't say almost 500 years ago, because the nation isn't 500 years old.
Let me be dramatic.
Yeah, you understand. The Bill of Rights is like, what I'm saying? It's not that old. But at the same time, we didn't have fully automatic weapons. We didn't have, like, there was a lot of things that we didn't have, back then. So, what I'm saying? There should be some kind of reform as far as that goes. But, criminals that have a hold of guns, I don't think taking the guns away from law-abiding citizens is going to, I think that would give more power to criminals and crazy people that have them. Like, I'm in favor of something like, I think it's Japan that has its psych evaluations before you can get a damn CCW. Or purchase a handgun. Like, you gotta go through a psych evaluation before you get a damn handgun out there.
If you get it illegally, why does it matter?
Huh?
Not saying that you're wrong. If you get it illegally anyways, why does it matter?
There's
a black market for them.
I feel safer with mine than without it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you got all the crazy motherfuckers out here with them. So if you're going to take mine and not take the crazy motherfuckers, and how the hell are you going to get a hold of the ones that have them illegally? Like, you're not. They have them illegally. You know what I'm saying? So it puts you at a disadvantage because you're the registered. You're the one with one that's registered. So, nah. That's why we have it. So, what's up, Truth?
No, what's the trying to follow your lead? Y'all just what are y'all talking about?
We were talking about the Charlie Kirk thing.
Okay, cool.
And why there's a lot of outrage about just an assassinated 31-year-old man that a lot of folks didn't agree with.
How detailed?
And not outrage, but some people are cheering it, and and others are having a lot of what is that? Just bogus praise, like the dude was such a good dude, and other people are like he was such an evil dude. And I don't think it was either, really. You know what I'm saying? From our perspective, we don't know if motherfucker's a good dude or not. We really didn't know him that well. These are just a bunch of political talking points that he spewed. So I'm not gonna say that he was a good dude. He was a bad dude, but I wouldn't put him on people were putting the dude on the level of a Klansman or something. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like we done heard Richard Spencer and Nick Fuentes talking dudes like that, and he wasn't even up there with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know how thorough you are with the information about Charlie Kirk. If you because I really didn't get a chance to speak to a lot of people because I wanted more more information as far as
I'm familiar with his. I'm familiar with his debates, some of his debates. So as far as like a lot of his individual content and stuff, I haven't really consumed a lot of that, but I have seen a lot of clips of him debating people.
Okay, and I've seen it because he's been on YouTube for a while now, but I haven't really got in depth to. I've heard it, but you know how you don't have like okay, you can see exactly what side he's from. I didn't never sit and watch him,
What's up, low key?
analyze. You feel what I'm saying? As far as him passing, um, from what I've seen, I didn't same thing. I didn't see anything that would warrant him passing away. Having a strong view on whatever side you're on, I don't believe that's a will for your execution. Once you are identified as a person that uh, can cause us problems, then that's a different story. And what I mean by identified, I'm not talking about from your emotional bias of you being either white or black. I'm talking about this guy actually caused, like literally caused problems. Do you have a criminal background? Has he done anything to somebody? Have you openly saw him, hurting, beating or hurting his children or his wife or something like something to that nature where it would say these are behaviors that are leading to something else, hurting animals, anything like that. The person that I saw him around was Candace Owens, and for me, I'm a fan of hers. So far everything that I've seen her, whether it's unpopular to our people, some of the things that she says, majority of the things she states, I agree with. And from me seeing her speak about him, it sounds like they were aligned on a lot of different things.
And from what I've heard on the debates and stuff, I would
Hmm.
agree with what you just said. I'm gonna do more research and more homework and stuff like
Okay.
that. But like I know Rogue C used the term radicalized, and
Hmm.
I wouldn't even use that term for him. Radicalized is like down with this that either like totally anti against like a system or something like that. So the only thing I really remember him, preaching that he was anti or against was illegal immigration,
Hmm.
DEI, um,
Hmm.
let me see, the extreme feminism,
Hmm.
uh, and probably some other things that what I'm saying that align with just that conservatism. You know what I'm saying that
Right.
that conservative stuff. So you know,
Even down to the nuclear family. I
yeah.
heard him speak about stuff like that. So that
Up to
those
Miss.
things. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying what's up to Miss B. I'm gonna
Oh,
go to Road T as soon as you finish.
yeah, those things are, like I said, those things I agree with because those things are, believe it or not, are what's harming us all in this country. Not white, not black, not Hispanic, not none of they harming us all. If you actually look at the origin of those things and where we're at now. As far as guns, like you said, and I don't know why this is still a talk as far as let's remove guns. No, we have always had tools used for protection. That's what a gun is. It's a tool. It becomes a weapon once it's placed in the hands of an individual. Then determining how that person is going to use it determines whether it's a good or bad thing. But it's not the gun itself. Like Ant say,
Mhm.
when I
And,
have
and
money,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
I
gonna
was like,
keep
when
it
it come
moving.
to like active shooter situation, and I'll let Rogue C go in a minute, but like we
Yeah,
should talk about active shooter situations. I'm like, those are not that the Second Amendment doesn't put weapons in the hands of children. It
hmm,
doesn't, and it damn sure doesn't. Your ability to carry it, you're outside of your home or whatever, even if you had a permit to do it, doesn't allow you to take it into a school and shoot it. Like you're breaking a law. Like there are laws being broken right there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
There's nothing in the damn Constitution that allows you to go shoot up a school.
yeah. I'm gonna make this last point. Uh, like you said, and if I believe if more people was able to get more guns, license and everything, I believe a lot of the situations would be very limited. If you see, like in my state, Maryland, and especially in Baltimore, we have extremely high gun laws, but our homicide rate is always the highest in the nation, always, because having strict laws with certain things does not limit us taking it in our hands to break the law with the tool. If you go to Texas, these places have, lax gun laws, and they have stand your ground. Why you think they not high in homicide? Because people don't play with each other if they know that, hey, this person can protect themselves.
I would say
They
the
have a
respect level
legal
goes
right.
up.
They have a
Not
legal
the
right. If I rob them, they can blow my tail away. So
Row C. You wanna jump in there?
I can, because again, I'm okay. So let me clarify this. I'm not anti the Second Amendment, right? I don't even see myself completely left leaning. Maybe when I was younger, and a lot of people kind of come to the same conclusion as they get older. They start having a family, they start having certain values and change of mind when they get older and they kind of start putting life in perspective. But I am still against certain talking points when they have to completely degrade or degrade someone who doesn't believe in what you believe in. So I guess I'm still in the middle, mid leaning when it comes down to my own personal beliefs, because there are certain things I wouldn't do, I wouldn't stand for, I wouldn't live for, but I still don't feel the right to cast, you know, complete, I guess just be like completely done with the person just because they don't believe in what I believe in. So I guess that's where I kind of get to my feelings about people like Candace Owens, or how if Charlie Kirk was talking a certain way, right? I don't think you get to just spew your belief and just be like, this way is completely wrong, my way is completely right, because I don't think that works for anybody.
Mm. I agree with that's why I left To's comment up there. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just based on what I heard from old boy, which I mean, I've been, I mean, you hear him around these spaces, definitely around election time a lot, but maybe some things that he said might have been rooted in like bigotry, not necessarily prejudice, but just like bigotry, because they pick a side. Um, but I wouldn't consider him a radical.
Like I said, I was going based off, because I'm not gonna lie, I told you my ex-husband, he's kind of into all this kind of stuff more than I would ever be. This whole situation, I saw pieces of the video as much as the internet would allow you to see. It's sad. It's very sad. It's very disheartening, and it's
Mm.
scary to a person who, I mean, isn't really up to watching that kind of stuff. I kind of remember watching Mad Men, right? And they were showing how people were reacting when MLK was assassinated, when JFK, all these people, and it's a terrifying thing to see and believe that this could happen in our reality.
yeah, well, I'll say for me, it's a terrible thing. Did it frighten me? No, because of my upbringing, I'm kind of a little bit desensitized to these things.
Mm-hmm.
As far as his family and everything goes, it is sad for them. I mean, like I said, from what I have heard and seen, the the position he takes, people don't like. From what I heard, who he is, and this is from even black people, they have stated that he's a decent person. They stated that he's a decent person. They stated that, from their relationships and everything with him, directly and indirectly, he's a decent person. So we're going to always have split views where we have biased people that are clinging to their emotions instead of listening to something because they think it doesn't favor, especially, our people. We think something doesn't favor us, we automatically think they racist. We
Mm.
should ask ourselves the things that they talk about, why doesn't it favor us? And can it favor us? The answer is yes, especially in today's time. There literally is not anything that we are withheld based off of race. Are there instances where people can be, racist to us because they are individualized racists. Yes, like we heard a person that came on here, and I appreciate, Ant talking against this individual. That person, it's clear to see where they stand at because they said it out of their mouth unapologetically how they feel about us. So that person is nothing wrong with labeling them a racist because they said it. That person individually does not account for all of white people. And we got to stop doing that instead of dealing with people on an individual basis. Because that person that you deem, or all these people, I'm pretty sure, and he's worked in business and everything like that. And most of those people have those. Most of the white people have those type of positions. Everything when trying to get in certain business situations, a lot of white people because they're in them positions in them spaces, they have helped me move through those spaces. That's one thing I can say. They have openly helped me move through those spaces. So where a lot of us we want something if we help each other, and we talk about it on here all the time, and we say it's not a problem. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong. It's not wrong, but it's not right either. Because if somebody freely give you something, you should freely give as freely receive. If somebody give you information freely, why would you put a tax on it? Why would you create a debt? Say, oh yeah, I give it to you. You gotta pay me a couple dollars when somebody actually gave it to you for free or was free information. So the mindset of people is what is problematic in this world today. It's not color.
I have a
Those-
question.
yes.
Because I know your stance. I know a little bit of, Ant's stance and how people like to move in this space. Do you feel that black conservatism looks the same as what white people preach? Or do you feel like doing how they are, it helps us or does it hurt us more?
Um, as far as like how you see how you put it, you says doing as they are. I don't believe it's doing as they are. I believe it's doing as it should be. Because it's the position is not a white nor black position. It's about a position of power. How do you view yourself? Do you view yourself as inferior or do you view yourself powerful? A lot of people say they view themselves powerful, but you see the position that they take. They take an inferiority complex position, which means you view white people as powerful or more powerful than you. I never felt inferior or put white people in a position like that in my life. And that's because I was able to be around them and see how they lived way when I was young by being in the military, having military family and background. You be around different cultures and see how they live and see how they view us as well. And the way we consciously harp on them and think about them, they don't think about us like that because they have lives just like we do. They have families, they have our strengths, they have weaknesses. Their gear up is not uh what the blacks are doing. That's not how they think. Do we have those type of people that do think like that? Yes, because they have because you guys have allowed them to think they're better. Like the person that was on here, he openly said, "I am better than you guys. I am more powerful. This is my land," because we perpetuate that concept. This is not their land. This is not their land. They are not more powerful. They do not control anything. Only time people control something is when you allow and you give an overpower to them. That's how it's perpetuated. If you believe that white people are better than you, then that shows that you have some emotional instability and psychological problems that you believe a race is better than you. That's something that you have to deal with.
Just clarify what I meant when I said it was their way of conservatism.
Yeah, Big J,
Not
I
gonna
think
lie.
I
When I
had
think
you
of
in
a,
the background.
Who's up?
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I was transitioning to my car.
You might have it too, Rose.
When
I
I
don't
say,
know. I hear something in
yep,
the
y'all can hear me.
background. You got something in the
Hold on.
background, man?
Oh, it sounds like an echo. Yeah.
I mean, I'm in my car. Hold on.
Okay, you might have YouTube still running.
You hear me right? My sound's all right. Okay, is it?
I
Yes.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you saying you are a black conservative, right?
A black conservative.
Yes,
What is that?
but you just other groups of people, and you talk about victimhood, and so you were playing off of what Rope C was saying. So I mean, what's the
Good morning, Big J.
morning to you?
What is a black conservative?
Because I was I hope I'm not mistaken, but you was talking about conservatism, and you were talking to Rope C. So I was assuming that you was a conservative.
Oh, okay. So you assumed. Okay, cool. Okay.
Well, hold on. That's why, before y'all get into that, that's why, am I better now, Aunt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's why I kind of wanted to, I guess, clarify what I meant when I said them versus us. Because I'm not going to lie, when I do think of a particular white conservative, it does come with racism. When I think of how black people act when they were, I guess, more on the conservative leaning side, we were still accepting. We were, and I'm not going to say like all of us, I'm just thinking more of a certain look of being conservative versus like certain actions, if that makes sense. That's why I'm like, their conservatism versus ours.
Is it a difference?
Yeah,
I would
there
say
is.
yes. I would say MLK was a conservative. I've been like looking at the certain way people were growing up, but their beliefs weren't as toxic to the all versus just the few, if that makes sense.
Was Malcolm a conservative?
I would say yes too. Again, based off of how these people dress, did he start off that way? No.
Malcolm X was very, very adamant that he is neither liberal nor conservative,
Yeah.
But
Republican.
again, the
Or,
time period. Hold on. The
Thank
time
you.
period. Malcolm
Thank
X
you.
was not wearing like again certain looks. Also, you got to remember wearing a suit and tie. A lot of people would deem that as a conservative look. But
okay, and
certainly
what I would say right
Rope.
there. Wait a second, Big J.
Rope. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Real quick, Big J. Let me give it to you, bro. And that's what I mean. What it looks like and what society done told you it is doesn't mean
Mm,
that's what it is. Like
correct.
that Malcolm X has said in those specific words because he understands the game that liberals and conservatives play, and also the part that black folks play in it. They're usually just a football that liberals and conservatives are kicking back and forth with each other. That's how black folks usually fit into that game. So I would say this. I can't speak for truth. He can answer that, and Big J can answer that. I mean, look, as I've grown older, and most people do this, our views usually kind of lean a little more toward conservatism. And it's not like a political thing. It's more of just an ideological thing. Like we kind of just lean toward more of just moral values and shit like that. But it has nothing to do with whether or not you're just wearing suits and clean cut and speaking a certain way. It really doesn't. It's just it's deemed by how you see society and how you your value toward family and keeping the family structure in order and stuff like that.
Correct.
and I
And
don't
that's what
disagree,
I.
but technically Malcolm did all that too. Even if he wasn't completely leaning towards one or the other, he did do it. It's a spectrum.
So that's what goes into Ant's position. Well, you said he did all that too, even though himself would tell you he's not neither or. You want a person like that from that ilk is going to have certain points and positions that we want to put a label on it. So if you want to use the label as conservative, then you're going to go from that position. That doesn't mean that is what he is, because we've seen several things that we would clearly see. Oh no, that was a liberal position, or what we would label a liberal position. Conservative is put on the backs of what we deem it's almost being put in a position of right and wrong. It's like conservative is right and liberal is wrong, and neither one of them are. There are positions, especially in political positions. That's what it is. It usually runs along the lines of you hear people that are conservative take certain positions about family, about order and structure, which then makes it bad for people that are liberal because it then seems like they're for disorder. They're seen for not providing for family. They seem to not want to do better for children. They seem to not want to better the community. And I know some what we would deem liberal that is further from the truth. So that's where the problem comes at. So to answer PJ's question, no, I'm not conservative nor liberal, and that was the point
And
that
I'm
I was
happy you said that,
trying to make. Yeah,
because a lot of people do make it seem like it is one is evil, one is good, and I do believe there's a gray area, at least for that kind of mindset. I don't know if you could say there's a gray area for morality, but there's definitely a gray area of how you choose to lean towards your morality.
I actually am one of those people who don't think the liberals care about family. And the way I noticed this is first they kind of define down what a family is and then pretend to care about the bastardized definition. So if a woman gets knocked up and she has kids with whomever, if she's got three, four kids and three, four baby daddies, that is a family worth supporting. But if it's a man, woman, and child, and that man wants to raise his children right and lead his family, he has no love from the Democrat Party.
can you give me an example without involving
Hold
women
up.
in liberal
Hold on.
position?
Let me jump in. Yeah, and yeah, that's where I'm gonna go, with
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Which I'm not gonna fully disagree. And when you talking about like your far left wing Democrats and stuff, you're probably right. You know what I'm saying when it comes to that. But I know plenty of people that identify as liberal and they have a fully nuclear family, like
Yeah,
fully
yeah.
nuclear family. Most of their friends and their other family members have nuclear families, man, woman, children. That is what it is. So just
Exactly.
because you identify as liberal doesn't mean that that's what the hell you're into or even that that's what you're pushing. But most liberals do seem to at least respect and in some cases fight for others to have the right to do that if they want to.
Sounds like a hustle to me. That's a classic buddy hustle. Like, I hate this kind of behavior for you, but I'm going to do it for me and I'm going to become wildly successful at it. But don't you do it. It's bad if you do it.
I mean, I'll let truth get in there. I'm not gonna engage too deep into it, and then I'll go to Rogue C when he's done.
Bad if who do it?
Damn, bro, you're gonna make a back and forth. I just gave you the floor.
No, because if you want to if you want to have somebody just have the floor, then you could give it a rope. But
All right,
yeah,
because yeah, if y'all get into a back and forth, and then there's no panel, so we just gotta rotate around.
I'm not gonna lie. Again, certain things when I was younger and I was more liberal leaning, there were things that I was cool with, right? Because I didn't have any responsibilities, no real accountability to take outside of just was my life. But once becoming a mother, once, seeing how my community could be affected by certain things, I did have to kind of get into a more communal and family mindset for obvious reasons. But I don't think that took away the fact that I was more liberal leaning in a certain aspect. Because I'm not going to, I guess, be as critically harsh. Like I hear, and again, this is hearing. So again, this is not a good representation, but I hear some conservatives are.
okay. Would you consider yourself a conservative?
Like I said, I consider myself more in the middle because I do see certain talking points or at least certain ideals as it makes sense to me, right? I'm not against them. Certain things I might be more for, certain things I might not be for myself. Like, I guess I would technically say I am pro-life for myself, but if it's another situation with another woman, I would be pro-choice. So I guess I'm somewhere in the middle.
Well,
Oh,
if
no,
you
no, no, no. Hoodservative, say something. No.
I think the reason why conservatives get that kind of harsh reputation is because we kind of sift through gray areas until we find an actual line. Whereas with liberalism, you're encouraged to believe in an infinite gray area. And as long as it's infinite gray, there's no real right and wrong, and you can do whatever you like. And so when it comes to the issue of the children, when does it not become a baby? This is a fundamental fact of development. At some point, it has to become a baby. And what liberals argue is that at some arbitrary date, it depends on whenever the mother decides, that's when it becomes a baby. And so the conservative position is that it was always a baby from the minuscule millisecond of contact, it became a baby. And once it becomes a baby, you can't just do whatever the hell you want. And so there is no infinite gray area. And I'll be whatever you'd like us to be if that's the case. But yeah, you can't just live in forever in the gray. There is a hard line somewhere. There is an objective reality to most things. And I refuse to believe in the infinite gray because it hurts people's feelings.
all right, I'm good at.
I was about to say, I'm giving it to you now.
All right. For me, again, the liberal and conservative titles. I've seen people live a certain type of way, but they will call themselves conservative. I've seen people live a certain type of way, but they will call themselves liberal. And this is what I mean by when we extracting certain things, instead of identifying lifestyle and behavior, we go directly to title. And people want to group themselves with someone because they believe that that is either where everyone is going or everyone is running from. So if you're saying that, oh, I'm liberal because I believe that, certain, people shouldn't be able to vote or work or, should be very limited in their use of, banking systems, how they are able to get things financially. What if you look from a so-called conservative side? They will say that person is conservative, but then you look at their lifestyle. They have participated in these things. They have committed, baby deletions. They have done these things. Their lifestyle, but then they'll say that they're against it. For me, it seems more hypocritical, and you don't know what and who you are. You don't. And a lot of people like to try to make it a right thing by saying, "Oh yeah, I'm in the gray," because that's a trending thing to say that, I'm not moving left, I'm not moving right, I'm not liberal, I'm not conservative, I'm in the gray somewhere because I want to pick and choose when I want to do what I deem liberal or wrong when I feel like it, but then I want to say I'm conservative because I want to be right.
Okay. And let me jump in there because y'all were talking about like the pro-life versus pro-choice thing. So I remember I had this conversation a while ago, which the whole gray area thing, because I'm like, it's something that one side is going to be against and the other side is going to be for. But I would like the main reason why one side is against and the other one's for it is because of the whole frivolous baby deletions thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Hey, I made a mistake. Now I don't want the baby, and we pretend like we don't know where babies come from all of a sudden. So when I bring up the point where it's like, okay, I think we can all pretty much agree when it's situations of incest, grape, or the mother's life is at risk, those are when exceptions should be made. or you know what I'm saying, they should be made in cases like that. Nobody should be forced in any state to do that. You know what I'm saying? Um, so to be able to find some common ground, why not try to get that passed? Um, those specific exceptions passed on the federal level, and that's when I got the pushback from the pro-choicers. Was like, no, no, no. They that's it. We just be able to have it whenever we want. It's like, damn, you do know that that's like never going to happen. There's another side that's like never going to, like, even if you get one side in office that passes it, as soon as the next side comes in office, they're going to overturn it. Like that's never going to go. So why not find some common ground and get something that's going to stick? Like something that's going to stick. So if the issues are rape, incest, and situations in which the mother's life is at risk, why not just fight to get that passed on the federal level, and then let's work on things to make sure that those mistakes are not. If it is a mistake that like you made a baby and you didn't want to, like, let's try to keep that to a minimum. Can we work on that? Can we work on education? Can we work on more people practicing abstinence? Can we do more pushing of no sex till marriage, like little things like that, to just totally just get rid of, or not get rid of, or at least minimize the frivolous deletions. You know?
Um,
Can I
all right.
hop in real quick?
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
please. That was kind
Sorry.
of like for
Sorry, just because, again, when it comes down to certain beliefs of this whole liberal versus conservative thing, even just you saying practicing more abstinence and stuff like that, we've had time periods in history where that was the main talking point and the thing that was preached, and that was where majority of these quote unquote, frivolous pregnancies came from. Because when you try to restrict people so much, people kind of rebel against it naturally. That's why when we're like, it's hypocritical, it's this. To be human is to be a hypocrite. I'm not going to lie. That is why we have so many gray areas, because, we kind of do lean a little bit to whatever favors our situation at the time. So that's why it was like, okay, fine. If abstinence doesn't work, let's do birth control. Birth control actually really started helping. Now you have people who took that and wanted to make an evil situation, queen of eugenics. But again, we have to come up with technically more gray area solutions for the gray area issues. And that's why I'm like, you can't really say you can lean one way or the other, because abstinence doesn't work for everybody. Celibacy doesn't work for everybody.
yeah, I'm gonna give it to Hood Conservative right after this, and that's the thing. Abstinence actually does work for everybody. um,
You know
it,
what I
it
mean.
does.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Um, and so does celibacy. That's the thing
I
about
do
it.
not
People.
know what you mean. I would like you to elaborate a little more before I
Yeah,
take the floor.
I'm gonna give it to you in a second. I'm gonna give it to you in a second. But no, it does, and that's why I said, like, when you say it's a gray area, I'm like, that view right there is kind of more of black and white, and that's what I mean. I'm willing to meet in the gray area where everybody can win. You know, we can get something passed on a federal level. You know, something passed on a federal level to make those exceptions. Like I said, rape, incest, and situations in which the mother's life is at risk. Like, I believe that's something that you can get both red and blue to back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the
No, you
argument that
won't.
people make. And
No, you
then
won't.
when it comes in, well, I'm talking about it can happen if you did enough advocating. It's something that can get passed, and
As
it
a
can actually.
representative of the right on this panel, I'm telling you,
Let me finish, bro.
excuse me.
Thanks. You know, it can be done, and just like everybody else has been saying, um, the frivolous deletions, you leave it in the hands of the states. That simple. You know what I'm saying? You leave it in the hands of the states. And when you're saying no, we want them all, that's one of the reasons why you done went from just a pill to shots to plan B's to plan C's now. Like, all of that stuff is being, like, and pretty soon you're gonna have plans D, E, and F pills and situations. And it's just like that's not gray. That's straight black and white. That's just
So
my point.
I keep
Now
finding myself.
let me give it to hood conservative real quick.
We going
Well,
clockwise here?
wait. I wanted Rogue C. I wanted Rogue C to explain a little bit further before I comment. What? How is it that abstinence does not work? Like,
I didn't say
explain the
we're not
intimate
doing
act of, like, not a failing abstinence.
Ant said we're not going back. He said no
No, I
argument.
mean he had it. He's giving it back to her. He had it. He's giving it back to her. So it's all good.
Okay, so when I say that,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
meaning more so in the sense of a lot of people don't want to do abstinence. That's where abstinence fails. I can say I want to be abstinent until the right person comes around, or that moment I don't want to be abstinent anymore. And then I go ahead and have that situation. And if you want to call it a oops baby, that oops baby comes around. Again, I'm not saying the act itself fails. I'm saying when it comes down to human desire, human needs, just human wants, certain things don't work. Restriction has never worked for humans. Even prohibition does not work for us.
Hmm.
Uh,
Conservative, you say something or truth, get it, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is actually because I actually wanted to piggyback off what you said, and this is a prime example of someone would say they conservative, but they move liberal. And for me, I go by your behavior. I don't care what you say. You can tell me anything, but we're going to just use for this basis conservative is right and good. Even though we know that's not, but I'm gonna use that to prove a point. So conservative people is right and good. They are usually for God. They are usually against deletion of babies. As Ant stated, went from preventing to a pill form of termination. And of course, when you look these things up, they will always make sure they downgrade or put on a lower fashions of what these things are. Because if they told you exactly what's happening, more than likely more people would not do these things because it's telling you it's eliminating the risk. We already know this is how big pharma and stuff be working and everything. As far as dealing with abortions and pills and things like
Conservative, you want it?
Yeah, about the whole personal behavior thing, I think it's interesting that when it comes to you being unable to maintain certain levels of personal behavior, we're talking about like sexual discipline, that is one of the few areas where the government will step in positively. So let's say you can't behave yourself in a criminal fashion. The government steps in to punish you. But somehow, if you can't behave yourself with sexual discipline, you have the right to terminate the product of that discipline, or the government will support you financially as an outcome of your lack of discipline. And I think this is a very, very, very dangerous place that we're in, both morally, financially, and logically. None of this actually makes sense from a logical standpoint. This is all selfish behavior designed to actually just attract selfish voting.
hey Ant, my fault. Got my thing had messed up. But where I was going at was when we're talking about from a moral standpoint, if you agree that you are pro-life, then that means anything that stops other than the natural expelling of the body from preventing the baby from coming, you should be against that. This is what I mean by we pick and choose how
Why do
to
you say that?
we we pick and choose how to maneuver and get what we want. So if I want to have sex, if I want to do have fornicate willfully, and I want to do it without consequence, which usually is depending on a certain time of the month, the consequence is the baby. I'm going to be pro for abortion, pills, and so on and so forth. But then I want to say I'm not for abortions.
Damn, bro, you got you. I can let the word slide, but you gotta not say it multiple times within like a certain time frame. That's kind of how the algorithm picks it up. But go ahead.
I just want to hop in there because I catch myself having to explain this to men a lot. Plan B is not the A
You
pill.
know
I
us,
want y'all
man.
to know that.
We're dumb. We have low
No,
IQ.
I don't think y'all know because a lot of people really don't seem to know how ovulation and conception actually works. So that's why I like to just kind of throw that out there. The Plan B pill is not an A pill. The A pill is a completely different thing. Plan B is just a higher dose of regular birth control. So what it's supposed to do is, if a woman is supposed to be ovulating at a certain time, Plan B is just supposed to be like, hold up, before this egg drops, we're gonna give it a little more time. Don't drop just yet. And it doesn't drop until, and I'm just, paraphrasing and kind of just fast forwarding. It's not gonna drop until it's like, okay, let's go ahead and have our cycle. Let's go ahead and have that period and, cleanse and start over. So what the Plan B pill does, it just holds off on ovulation for a little longer. Because y'all know most women, we only can get pregnant 7 days out the month.
Yeah.
That's why there's a certain window if you are trying to conceive where you and your partner, you and your wife, whoever, y'all have to have that certain window open to, if you're really like planning to conceive, that's where a lot of people do that.
Okay. And what I would say with that, that's folks trying to play God. If you don't want babies, don't make babies. I would say that. I would say don't make babies if you don't want babies, and we all know where babies come from. Like we know how they're made and all of that stuff. So trying to sit there and calculate all of the ovulation and all of that stuff, like y'all know damn well, anything can happen once you do what you do to make babies. So if you don't
But that's
want
not
them,
playing
don't
God.
make.
God said you can only have a baby in this certain window. So if you're just saying,
Actually, no. Some scientists actually said that.
no,
Um,
that's how the
no,
body was created.
some
Ovulation was created
scientists
that
said
way.
that. I mean, like I said, some scientists said that the way the body was made and men and women are created is that once you engage in sexual intercourse and there's ejaculation from a man into a woman, there's a chance there can be a baby made. Like it's really that simple.
If
There's a chance.
he's in that window.
Now sometimes the chances are higher rather than lower, but there's still a chance. And 1% chances of shit happen all the time. Like people get struck by lightning. Sometimes they're sitting in a movie theater. They just get struck. It just fucking shit happens. The odds are slim, but it happens. Some people go outside and they just get hit by a bus. Some people get shot in their carotid artery at age 31. In the middle of a damn rally, just randomly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like shit happens. So
Yes.
if you don't want babies, don't make babies. You know
So
what I'm saying?
the reason why I say it is how God created, because before there was actual scientists in a lab, you did have tracking, like there was cycle tracking. The reason why women were to track their cycles was because once you started bleeding, we realized, okay, in these 4 weeks of a month, even before it was called a month, in this time frame, all this decides to happen in your body. So that is not because of science. Again, before even science had a name, people were doing this. That is how God created woman. And that's okay. Because again, you did have people before birth control, before all this, who were like, okay, I can get pregnant at this time. And again, it was mostly trial and error.
And is not speaking about ovulation. He's talking about this simple scientific finding a way to get rid of pregnancy in
No, we were
itself.
talking about ovulation too. That's
No,
why I
I'm
brought
saying
it up.
if you want to prevent pregnant, that's what I would say. If you
He
want to
was
prevent,
talking about preventing. You wasn't listening. He
then
brought up ovulation.
well, all I'm saying is, I mean, there's still a chance at any time of the month if you allow that to happen. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to take anybody to school on the human body. I'm not a doctor, but there's just a chance if you let some nigga nut in you. Like that just is what the fuck it is, bro. You might get knocked around
And that is why I brought up the whole Plan B
unless
thing.
you're pregnant already. You know.
No, again, You can only get pregnant a certain time out the month. But again, that's why I brought it up in the first place. Because unfortunately, I don't think a lot of men do know that. A lot of men who have babies, they just had babies by happenstance. They weren't cycle tracking with their woman. They weren't like how you see how these couples who get IVF and all that, they have to be locked in with that woman's body to know how it's
Yeah.
going to work.
Yeah,
So,
that's correct. But that's why I ain't want to veer off. We're talking about deletion of pregnancy, and deletion of pregnancy is the problem. But like Ant said, and I'm glad he brought this up because most men don't. Every time we come along for the idea of not having sex, the whole world is in uproar because we want to do whatever we want to do and we want to live heathenistically. We want to live, without care and do whatever we want to do and do not want the consequences that come behind it. The consequences that usually come behind it is a result. That's what consequence is. It's not a negative nor a positive thing. It's a result of your choice. The result of your choice, if you have sex on a certain time of the month, a baby will come. A baby will come. If you're not, and you actually track and say, hey, you know what? Uh, you have this ovulation day, but we're not going before 6 days before that or 6 days after. We're not even playing inside that window. We're going to wait for the other 20 something days to rock out. Then that's certain people that know how to move around that. Most people, they're going to still take that chance
I
without
agree.
they're still going to take a chance. Oh, everybody don't get pregnant. It's hard to get pregnant because it is. It's not that easy. It's not that
I agree.
easy. Way more children out here. You could be stressful, having stress. You can have hormonal problems, all these type of things. So it's not that easy to get pregnant. The problem is our behavior towards having sex. We want to be able to have sex, as much sex with whoever, instead of doing it the right way, where a child inside of a marriage should not, or I would say should not be a problem if you're with the right person. But the men, they want to be able to have sex, and the women want to be able to delete the pregnancy whenever they want to. These are both of the problems that if it's eliminated, we won't even have this problem.
I think earlier we were talking kind of, liberal versus conservative. And I think the simple truth is liberalism is the ideology or the set of ideologies that has pulled us into this hedonistic direction. And so the conservative solution for that was, men and women marry. The younger they marry, the better. And within reason, obviously, but don't wait till you're 27 to decide now I'm going to try to lock it down and get married. Like as soon as you're an adult, you should probably try to find a wife. That was the conservative model because yes, we recognize that people have hormones, especially when you're young and you're getting into your adult body and all that. Yeah, things are starting to change for you. It gets weird. That is the time where you should be not only practicing discipline, but because here's the other side of liberalism that we kind of don't understand properly. Liberalism has destroyed our traditional sense of community because everybody is so free. Everybody's just this butterfly going off doing whatever they feel. The end result of that is we don't have big families anymore, which means we don't have the same level of community anymore, which means we don't have the same level of social order that we used to have. And so it wasn't just these young kids being disciplined among themselves. There was a whole community around them that would support them in their effort. And so when we were talking earlier about conservative versus liberalism, as the conservative on the panel, I think liberalism has cost us far more than it's gained us, bro.
All right, hold up. I gotta go to the new
I
panelists.
can also say something.
I have
I can add
Vigoda,
something.
and yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can call me V.
Hey, one second. I want to thank her for the super chat, and yeah, bro. So yeah, you gotta say something like
Yeah,
now.
first of all, I gotta
Please,
say
and
something
it's
before
gonna
me.
have to make a lot of sense really quickly, or I'm going to kick you. So go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I just agree with what the guy said before me, and about the stuff of the pregnancy. There is if you don't want your woman to get pregnant, then there is condoms and there is pills, and if she got pregnant by accident or something, then there's always an abortion.
All right, we're gonna refrain from saying the A word.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Say deletion or something like that. Rosie, she
You
had to
about to
drop.
go
I
ahead?
appreciate Rosie coming up. Say what?
Oh. No, I
I
said
mean,
you about to go because
did I cut conservative off? Conservative. Did I cut you off, bro? If I
no,
did, go ahead.
No, we're good.
All right.
yeah, the V guy went after him. Vagata.
Yeah, no, I needed him
You
to
call
just
me
say
V.
something. I made sure that he was real. But no, I mean, look, I would put that on. Oof. I don't even think it's really like a slippery slope or a gray area. With that, I'm just like, if people are that opposed when it comes to the pro-life, pro-choice, whatever, then just understand nobody's going to get everything that they want. When it comes to that, when you're trying to get bills passed in the laws, you're going to have to find some common ground in which is going to be bipartisan in some way, and then lobby to get that shit done. But if it's just going to be like, yo, make it legal on the federal level, make it illegal on the federal level, whatever, you're going to have to find some common ground. So the only thing that I could think of is make those exceptions. Grape incest situations in which the mother's life is at risk, and all of the frivolous oops, I calculated I'm only supposed to be able to get pregnant for this 1 week out of the month, and this time it happened to be 9 days instead of 8 or whatever. Those situations, man, just leave those in the hands of the state.
You know what?
Yeah,
On just like some horse trading level, I'm willing to let women have all of this reproductive health care bullshit that they want. You can get your guts vacuumed out every week if that's your heart's desire, but you should have to pay for every part of your life out of your own pocket. Everything.
and this is another because I saw someone say something about getting snipped. Once again, this is what I try to tell you.
I'll put that comment up because I think Jen just kind of trolling us a little bit, but I would. Hey, but hey, truth. Before you go on that, I would say, fellas, if you don't want no damn babies, yeah, either go get snipped or don't do that shit, man. Y'all know where babies come from too. Like we
Right.
all know where they come from. So all of this bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Miss me with that shit. If you don't want them, you know what the
I'm,
hell you need to do or not do to avoid having them. But to be
I'm
like, look,
glad.
I'm gonna have raw dog whenever I'm just gonna raw dog it and shoot up the motherfucking club and then pretend like you don't know where babies come from. Y'all motherfuckers look stupid. Like
Yeah.
fellas, ladies, look stupid with that shit. That's all I'm saying. Y'all look stupid.
I'm, I'm,
And
I'm
that's
glad.
when
And
Jen
to expect the law to back you up when you fuck up, that looks stupid too. Go
and
ahead.
that's why I wanted to tackle on that comment because the thing is, instead of men getting snipped, I would just say, why is and this is why I try. Look, it's always going to be, hey, let's just not have sex, but nobody wants to do that. They don't want to. That's why we're going to keep running across this problem because nobody wants to do the simplest answer.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say too. I'm glad at this particular moment the lady that was on the panel dropped off for this because I would like to say something, and it's not about her as a woman, but as a broader statement. I do not like how liberalism has kind of attempted to redefine morality. And so now that we have women, now that we redefine basic concepts of morality, women think they are in a superior moral position because they would terminate their own offspring. But somehow I am in a I'm a less moral person because I don't want to pay for them to have bastard children. Somehow you think you're more superior as a human being because you would have your guts vacuumed out. And I just reject that entire framework.
Mm.
Uh, But yeah, and we overall to try to get back on the situation about what the guy Clark and everything. I mean, not Clark. I said Clark. Charlie Kirk. He was. That's why I wish you had a lot more information because some of the
I
stuff
will
that
on
you
Sunday.
say,
I will on Sunday. I'm gonna do. I mean, I have information, but I'm gonna have clips to back it up. Um, yeah, just because even from what I've heard, like a few people say, I kind of got into a conversation where they're saying that the dude was a KKK member and this and that. I'm like, that dude wasn't that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could disagree with the guy without just lying on the motherfucker, man. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. If you are gonna do that. So we're gonna have clips to back it up. And if anybody's gonna say that whole, you know what I'm saying, KKK or even comparing him even to white nationalist or you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
white supremacist or even you know what I'm saying rate like actual racist comments and
Right,
stuff like just give me the clip. Just give me the clip. I'll pull it up. Because thus far I haven't found any of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not defending the dude or nothing like that because there's some shit that he said that I don't necessarily agree with. Just like there's shit that Candace Owen says that I don't agree with. But
correct.
just like I was saying earlier, you know what I'm saying? He's pretty much on the same level of like Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, whatever. Those motherfuckers
Well,
just MAGA,
I mean,
right wing. They debate college students and spit out rehearsed talking points.
Right.
Um,
Who agrees with anybody altogether? Like nobody.
right.
Nobody is
you
going
be
to agree.
amazed. Hey, truth, you be amazed in this day and age, bro. Motherfuckers
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean, no, I'm not. I'm not. Let me say it better. Not who, but they are very hopefully people that aren't ignorant. Let me say it like that. People that aren't ignorant will not just lean all the way towards one place. We're talking about like 100% because once again, that person is going to let you down because eventually they're going to say something that you won't agree with. You're going to be like, oh, oh, I don't know about this person. No, you agree with what they were saying. And then the part that they said that you don't agree with, it's okay. That was the point that I was trying to make as far as this guy losing his life. What did he actually do in his behavior? We know what he said. I really don't care. I care about what people say because words are important, but not to the level where we're trying to say that that person, and we're talking about the egregiousness of what they said. Are they saying things you're not comfortable with, but that can benefit you in some type of way? Or they're saying something that is daggone right disgusting, and every way across the board, everybody's gonna say, "Oh no, that's disgusting to say. That's an abominable word to say. That's wrong to say that." Everybody will say it across. If I say it out of my mouth, it would be wrong. If Ant said it out of his mouth, it would be wrong. Not that if Ant said it, I have a problem because I don't like it, or that's not how I'm living my life. Those are different things.
I think it's just obvious at this point. The right wing position has more logical argumentation. And so for a lot of people on the left wing, you kind of just argue them down to a point of insanity where, eventually you can back them into a corner where violence is the only logical solution they have left.
I mean, I would agree to an extent. To an extent, because I think it was more things that kind of like sunk your not necessarily left wing, but you know what we talk about when we say left wing. You talk about the Democratic Party and the far left Democratic Party and everything else, which things have gone a lot more far left than they were in the past. I was having this conversation earlier on Bearded Conversations, which hopefully I can get his crew over here to talk about it a little bit further because it was a cool political conversation. But the way things went from the left wing actually working for the working class, man and woman and all of that in the middle class, like that I think is what really sunk them. That's what kind of what sunk them, which is why a lot of like right wing talking points are landing with more Americans now. For the first time ever, you saw, you saw a Republican win the damn, win the popular vote, for a reason. In order for that to happen, a lot of folks had to switch sides. Like that just is what it like a lot of folks had to switch from one side to the other. So people need to understand what that is and to always try to use the excuse of, well, those people are just racist, instead of actually talking to a lot of those people that switched
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of those people that were there and just asking them. And a lot of them would just tell you, but a lot of them don't understand that, um, that's probably why you lost, because you don't give a fuck to even talk to the damn people. That's why you lost. That's why you're losing. And as long as you're going to keep giving people their opinions instead of listening to their opinions, that's what's going to happen. And it's evident in the numbers. The numbers don't lie. For example, and it's something that kind of snowballed over the years. This ain't even a just Donald Trump thing. This happened before Donald Trump came in. That's one of the reasons why he was elected in the first place. The whole, hey, tax the rich and shit like that. I didn't had that conversation. I'm like, bro, that never works. You're not going to be able to punish people for being successful. You tax the rich. You make my boss's day bad, he is going to make my day bad. That's how it works.
You
If the
know,
government wants to fuck your boss's day up and bang his pockets, trust me, he's about to bang yours. Okay, he's
what
gonna pass
happened?
that baby on. That's kind of how it works. These people are not rich because the government allowed them to be. They're rich because they know how to move around the shit that the government's doing. So they're gonna find a way to take as few losses as possible, regardless of who the fuck is in office. And that's just a lot of shit just snowballed. You know what I'm saying? It just snowballed. So people are feeling the effects of all of that tax the rich shit, and they don't know what the hell is going on. So you have a lot of, it is mainstream liberal media that wants to put it on racism, put it on people that are just anti-woman and misogyny and all of that shit. And it's like, nah, man, believe it or not, this is just an American thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Most people fell into that middle class bracket, whether it be lower middle class, below the poverty line, upper middle class, straight middle class, whatever. They fell into that and they feel forgotten because they're fucked. They're getting fucked right now. You know what I'm saying? The most.
Exactly, Auntie. And that
Mhm.
was the point that I was going by when we're talking about somebody deserve, because people were actually saying deserve. People was making videos that this man should pass, should have what happened to him. And I'm pretty sure there are things that I've seen people say on here that have done. If we're going to go that route to say, oh yeah, based off of this, somebody deserves for their life to take. Well, how about what have you done that your life might deserve to be taken? What have you said that your life might deserve to be taken? We gotta be we gotta be very careful.
You know what? What makes me kind of disappointed, bro?
Mouth, I'm speaking, sir.
And I thought you
Now you,
stopped for a second.
I
My bad.
thought you were done too. I ain't gonna lie. I thought you were
Yeah,
done too.
My thing cut out because I
you
was
Yeah,
did.
speaking.
Yeah,
it
I
must
wasn't
have cut
speaking
out.
over you. I promise.
It must have cut
Oh,
out, bro. Because I thought you were done too, bro. I ain't
can
gonna
you hear me now?
After you
Yeah, yeah,
finish, I
yeah.
want to also say a few things.
Oh, all right. I
Okay?
apologize. So
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. What part did you hit? Well, I'll just say this: people that are saying things that from their opinion. I don't think we should go to the end of saying that people should pass away because of their opinion. Because I'm pretty sure we all can say there have been egregious things said on here or said in our daily lives that we probably would deem that as somebody should be getting, taken away from. But we're not willing to either go to those ends or we won't accept it on our end when we have done something in that manner.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that because I'm going to do some more content on this thing. I was talking about this yesterday when the end of empathy, and I played a lot of. There's not just black people. There's a bunch of white folk that's on this too, but I'm looking at black folk, and there's a lot of black folk who are just like, F him, he deserves it. I'm glad it happened, and I got even more content now. I can take another pass at this topic, but what it kind of gives me the feeling, bro, it's hard to imagine you're the good guy at this point. I don't know how you can actually like rightfully be seen as the good guy when you're celebrating something like this. This is what you desire. This is a win for you somehow. If this is a win for you, it's hard to imagine that you're the good guy. And I'm looking at all these black folk, which is why I've been always at odds with like black politics and all that shit. Because like I kind of look at the totality of it all, and I'm like,
That's where
bro,
I gotta cut you off. It's
I
not
don't know if
just
this
black
is
folks
good guy
celebrating.
behavior.
It's not just black folks celebrating it. I seen
I didn't say
Good.
it was. I didn't say it was.
Who's
I've
Celebrating what exactly?
seen really like a small percentage of black folks that, you know what I'm saying, kind of like
Celebrating what?
celebrating it. But I have seen some that have had some fucked up shit to say about
I've
old
seen a
boy's death.
lot, bro. I'm putting together hours of
the
content
good
for
guy
this,
though?
bro.
No.
Guys,
That's why I'm
celebrating
not
what
going to
exactly?
disagree with you, bro. I'd like to see what you put together because I'll be talking about it further on Sunday. Appreciate that if you can give me the you know what
Nah,
I'm saying,
by
just
Sunday I should have the show on the air already because I got to work today. But tomorrow morning maybe.
Hey, conservative, who would you say the good guy is?
Guys, celebrating what exactly? I
Well,
didn't
I'm
manage to
yeah,
get
no,
that.
we're
I,
just
I
we're gonna
never.
keep the conversation flowing, and
Guys,
you gotta jump in when you fit in, bro. Yeah, go ahead, fella.
Well, no, I wasn't
hello?
saying. I never
Guys,
made a
you
declarative statement of who the good
celebrating
guy
what exactly?
was.
I
Uh,
can't hear.
let me end. Let me end like this, and I'm gonna give
You
it to
hear
V.
me?
I'm gonna give it to V 1 second. I'm gonna end with this. I'm not saying who the good guys are, but I'm questioning how can you be the good guy if you're happy that this happened to him.
Yeah, no, and he doesn't know. He didn't know what we was talking about, and that's what I was saying when I opened up the show. I'm like, yo, it's a spot in hell for y'all folks because, and the reason why I say that is because, especially right here on the platform we all talk shit on the internet. Like that's
Mhm.
what we do. We all talk shit. So if you're celebrating that, you would be celebrating your own assassination. Mine, Hood Conservatives, Truths, Rogue Cedar was up here. Everybody else with a damn microphone, a cell phone that done clicked the StreamYard link, done commented in the thread or whatever. We just happen to not have grown large platforms like him. But just for somebody talking shit and you not agreeing with them, you're glad that they were assassinated at the age of 31. Nah, bro, I can't get down with that. I can't get down with that at all. That ain't cool. You know, that's just me. And I wouldn't celebrate nothing like that under any circumstances. You know. Yeah, Tampa dog. I'm really not in the mood today. The dude's dead, so at that point, I'm not gonna celebrate somebody's death for the simple fact that their loved ones, their family members are the ones still here. So that's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at this point, he can give a damn how anybody talks about him. He's dead. You know? So people be thinking that to have that opinion is hurting his feelings or something. The man's dead. You know? So I mean, you know,
Right? What are you speaking to inside of you that is happy right now? Like, what part of you, that part of you that's happy about this? What, like, describe that part of you right now that's happy about this. What's going on in there?
so that's all I'd be saying, bro. I'm not. I mean, if somebody want to find me the clip saying, "Yo, I'm glad that Charlie Kirk said, hey, I'm glad that dead motherfucker was shot in cold blood." You know what I'm saying? Anybody, hey, was gunned the fuck down in cold blood. Feel free to send me the clip, man. Y'all know how to get it to me. IG it to me, email it to me, whatever, bro, or just put it right in the damn chat. I'd like to hear that. You know, I'd like to hear that, but to just say that, you know, I'm glad that man was assassinated or some shit.
Hey,
People
you know
just
what?
say, hey, I like what Juju said. It's like, look, I don't know the motherfucker enough to mourn him or anything because I don't know him enough to mourn him. I'm not going to shed a tear or anything like that. I'm not going to bullshit like I do. I'm not going to say the dude was a good dude or a bad dude or any of that. And if we want to debate his talking points and all of that other shit, cool. But I'm not going to argue with whether or not that man deserved to be shot the fuck down on a professional, pretty much a professional assassination, bro, from 200 fucking yards away, right in his damn carotid artery. I'm not gonna argue that shit, bro. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Yeah.
So, you wanted to say to me something that I don't know how to say your name, the guy with the Superman shirt? Hello?
Go ahead, bro.
You wanted to say to me something, no?
Nah, they was waiting on. I know you were asking what we were talking about, and
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to be up here much longer, so I didn't want to slow the conversation down to catch you up.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, about the guy that we were talking about, I forgot his name. It's very sad that he died. He was a wonderful person, in general. And I want to ask you: you think that now Trump or in general somebody's going to do something in order to put, to take care of all the people that are that call towards violence against him or people that think like him because of this?
That's actually a pretty good question. I'll let Hood Conservative or Truth answer that.
I suspect more left wing chimp outs to happen because what's really happening right now is there's a huge cultural shift taking place, and the left wing had a lot of momentum and power. Right, coming up like the Obama era, then the George Floyd thing, like even though they were out of power presidentially, they had a lot of cultural momentum. And all of that, it just fizzled out after George Floyd. And now what's happening is a hard swing to the right. And as the country swings further to the right, people on the left are going to engage in more and more outrageous acts of, terroristic violence, essentially, because this is actually the norm of American history. This is a forgotten, buried history of our past, but the majority of the 70s and 60s was bombings and assassinations and people robbing banks and shooting cops. All kind of stuff was going on, and we don't get taught about that when we have like our high school history class. We get taught about how awful America was. We don't get taught that half the people that did all that stuff went on to go teach at universities, and some of them work for people in DC now. Some of them were connected to Obama and all that stuff. I brought all this stuff up when I was over at Shiraz the other day. That was the first thing I was saying. Like, you realize political violence in America is a largely left-wing phenomenon. The overwhelming vast majority of it comes from left-wing people.
If you ask me, Obama should be in jail for what he did, at least what he did outside of the USA, if you think about it.
I mean,
to remind you guys that
just about all of them damn presidents should be in jail for the shit that they've done. I mean, it is what it is. They've all given kill orders. Okay, they've all fucking done it. You know what I'm saying? They've all assassinated.
Yeah, but still, Obama did a lot of stuff that will be considered as giving hand to criminals.
As the commander-in-chief of the armed services, they've all given kill orders to take out another world leader in the name of Western civilization's form of democracy. So
I'm not talking about world leaders. I'm not talking about that.
That's not a just Obama thing. Lock Bush up to, lock Clinton up to. He gave kill orders. Lock Biden up. Who did Trump take out? Did Trump take anybody out yet? I don't know, but he's probably done some shit to allow his ass to be locked the fuck up too. They've all done that shit. Like, as the commander in chief, you've either done that or you've given somebody else the power to give the damn order. So
that's kind of part of the job.
Obama tried to legitimize terrorism in some degree, if you think about it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean,
and of course, that's before we talk about what Biden did. Biden literally has blood on his hands.
In a world where with money and power run shit, it's about who do we pay or who do we delete. That's it.
Now, I want
to or delete somebody. That's how shit gets done.
In any case,
as long as I've been alive, for the 42 years that I've been on planet Earth, that's how shit gets done. Somebody gets paid a lot of money or somebody gets fucking blasted. So I don't think any of these presidents are above any other one.
No. My position on it is really this.
Okay, or generals or
this is a very...
You know what I'm saying? Like, they all do it.
This is a very nationalist position, but we are number one. And sometimes when you wear the number one headband, you got to cut a motherfucking head off, bro. It's life.
I can't even disagree with you, bro. That's one of the reasons why I never got into
Who is
politics.
we?
I understand how dirty a
We
game that
we are
shit is.
America.
Um,
Okay,
no, it's just me. I would agree with you, bro.
that
I mean,
part is you.
I understand how shit works, and if you're gonna hold those positions and you're in the situation room, you're taking part in that shit. Like they
That's
all
Exactly.
are,
fine though.
bro. Like
You're
Exactly.
no,
supposed to, though. You're supposed to. That's the job. That is a real job description. I kill people to keep America America. That is my job. Put that on my goddamn resume. But I don't hate them for that. Like I might pick and choose.
I'm
Like
not
maybe you
disagreeing
shouldn't have
with you,
got
bro.
that guy. Maybe that guy deserves to live. Maybe that guy had to go. But it is the job, and I'm comfortable with that job. That's part of why I vote for that guy to have that job. I want you to decide which people
Okay.
get put on the list and what buttons get pressed, bro. Somebody's got to do it. You don't want me deciding.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Trump did take a couple motherfuckers out,
Yeah,
man. He did, but
Soleimani
he ain't
from
above that
Iran.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
so
appreciate that.
Trump bombed Iran, but he's
I'm
still
just saying, one
did
ain't.
a little bit
If
small
Obama
job.
need to be locked the fuck up,
He should
so
have
the
done
fuck
way
does
more if you
And
everybody
look,
else.
I don't even I don't
Israel.
even support bombing Iran the way he did, but
Why not?
the
Why
Soleimani
not?
thing, well, because that don't necessarily help us. That was for somebody else. I don't like doing
Actually,
favors
that
for other
helps
niggas.
you. That helps the Jewish people, and first of all, in the long term, buddy, that helps you. You want nuclear weapon aim at you, buddy? You
They're
want
not
that?
aiming it at America. They got a
After
long
they
way
will
to go
finish with
before they're aiming
Israel,
at us.
listen, friend. After they will finish with Israel. The nuclear weapons that they will have will be aimed at you. That's what you want,
That's
buddy.
exactly what the Zionists tell me. That's so fucking weird.
Guess what? You are talking with a Zionist. You are talking with an Israeli Jew
Holy
right now,
shit!
buddy.
Holy shit! Wow!
Yes, buddy. Who you think you are talking, buddy?
Why am I so good
Hey,
at this,
You
bro?
know what is a
Why am I
Zionist,
so
buddy?
fucking good at this?
You know what is a
Wow!
Zionist?
no,
You even know what
bro,
is
Wow!
a
that's just
Zionist?
a
You know what
dirty
it is, buddy?
fucking game, bro.
You know what
I'm
it
just
is?
saying, it's just a dirty game,
Zionist. You know what it is, Zionist?
people think
Zionist
this
is a
shit.
person that is for Jewish rights.
You got to go, bro. Because when I be talking, dog, I need my voice for at least the rest of the day. For real, at the minimum for the rest of today. All right, but nah, man. As far as people don't understand how dirty this shit is. People think this shit is all about fucking Roe v. Wade and the price on a loaf of bread and shit like that, man. These people, like, they in the situation room giving fucking orders, bro. This is drone warfare. You know what I'm saying? You got naval ships out there ready to make it motherfucking rain at any given time. Okay? At any given time. You got Merc crews going out, you know what I'm saying, gathering intel so that way they can take the right motherfucker out, man. You got all types of covert, shadow agencies and shit like that 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 are heavily funded, well organized, all of that shit, man. Like I said, it's about who do we pay and who do we kill, whatever, And America, who's not supposed to give in to the demands of terrorists, whatever. We remember Obama gave that order to get what was that like 4 billion or 400 million or something when those naval officers were held hostage. Oh, but we owed it to them. Yeah, but you ain't paying them for 35 years or whatever. Now all of a sudden you paying them today when they take some of your people hostage. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit. So I don't think anybody's one way or the other. They all kind of go against policies and rules. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I was just fucking cracking up laughing the whole time you were talking. That was a hilarious moment. That was a great reveal. Anyway, moving on. I think
Why
the
did you
job.
kick me out?
I think the job is the job, right?
I'm
And
actually
so
going to do it again.
Why? Why?
You have a wonderful day. You come back
I
next
think
time.
I think the job is the job, and so it's uncomfortable at times, but that is the job, right? And sometimes, there are people in this country, in this world,
What's up,
that
sir?
we would be safer without as a country. And so it is the job of people to determine who these people are, where they are, and put them on the list in what order of business we should handle them in. Hey, that's life, man.
I'm like I say, I'm not going to disagree. That's one of the reasons why I never got into politics, bro. I never did. It's a dirty fucking game, bro. It's extremely dirty, and I think a lot of people get too caught up in the whole shaking hands, kissing babies part of politics, which is really just that's just the outer shell, bro. That's the icing, but that ain't the cake. For real.
Well, I think it's
And that's the
I
sizzle,
think
but that
it's
ain't the cake.
I think the adult position is to accept the fact that the man who's kissing babies also drone strike the baby yesterday.
No, no. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, I think now as far as like the Kirk thing, I think a lot of folks believe that these social media activists and these social media influencers and stuff, they feel as though they're the reasons why he was able to be, elected, and people are still are like extremely outraged because of it. So I don't know. I just think this is an indictment on social, not an indictment, but it's kind of an attack on just social media influencers as a whole. So when somebody mentioned like an Anton Daniels was outraged by it, I can understand why, because he likes to wear his fucking MAGA hat every day and tell everybody exactly how far his tongue is up Donald Trump's ass every single day. So he feels like his life could possibly be at risk, just like Charlie Kirk's. Yeah, look at this shit.
You notice
I don't
how
know. Hey, I don't
nobody
know
with a
where the
pussy
fuck
hat is
you're
getting
from.
threatened.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck you're from or what your religion is, and I don't give a shit, homeboy. I'm about to get out of here in fucking 10 minutes, so I don't have time to slow my conversation down for you. Okay? I checked, saw your content. You have no content, and you got a total of 34 fucking subscribers, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know who you are or what your purpose is in coming up here, but I'm about to kick your ass again. You know what I'm saying? Or just leave you backstage next time you come up here. I ain't gonna ban you altogether, because maybe you'll be able to get involved in the conversation at some time, but it just will not be today.
They not
You know?
like us. They not like us. Hey,
Like, for real.
they not
He's like,
like us. They not
it's
like
like,
us. They not
yo,
like us.
he's like, yo, motherfucker, you feel me though, yeah, I gotta tell him, like, motherfuckers is like, hey, truth, and this is why we say, like, the creator is that you take accountability for this shit as the channel holder. Like, why'd you kick me and shit like that? Like, because I fucking wanted to, motherfucker. This is my house, motherfucker.
That's a fact.
I don't need a reason to kick you out. I don't need a reason to let you in here, nigga. Fuck you. Like, straight up. I fucking know you. You know what I'm saying? I can kick you because I don't like your avatar. If I want, fuck out of here. You know?
Niggas be having a lot of nerve thinking they special. Who are you,
For
bro?
real, dog. Ain't nothing. I ain't got do shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. But I'm like, I don't have time to really slow everything down. I just feel like that right there is just it's an attack on just, you know what I'm saying, influence as a whole and folks, because we all talk shit. I don't give a fuck if you left leaning, you right leaning, or whatever. And just like True said earlier, like I can understand, if this motherfucker was like, you had some serious criminal history or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You had some criminal history and some other shit. You done hurt people. You did something, and in that case, hey, maybe I could say you got what you deserve. I ain't read nothing like that. No Charlie Kirk's history. So, I can disagree with his talking points and his ideology, but did that man deserve to be blasted in the neck from 200 yards away? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I'm never gonna cheer some shit like that. Like I ain't no Hillary Clinton fan or no shit like that. But if I heard that somebody even made an attempt on her, I'd have a problem with that shit. Or her husband. And I don't went all against the damn Clinton Foundation, but I don't give a fuck, bro. That's not cool, bro. It's not cool. Just like Hood Conservative was saying, I'm like, man, them people up there just doing their job, and his job as an influencer or right-wing conservative or whatever. Motherfuckers, that's what they do. They debate college students and spit out a bunch of rehearsed talking points. It just kind of is what they do. And he did it on U.S. soil, and he's got the right to his opinions, just like those that were debating him had the right to theirs.
No, this is definitely one of those it will never be the same type moments, bro. This is like a 9/11 type of moment. Nowhere near that catastrophic, but still, it's one of those like you can mark the page right here in the history book. The things are going to be very different going forward. I can't predict how. I have no predictions. I'm just saying, how can it be the same?
Well, I can tell you, I mean, look, I wasn't in favor of those outdoor rallies anyway. I wasn't when I saw them. Once some shit started getting these huge, super huge turnouts, I was like, yo, there needs to be a change with that. Now I get it. This really wasn't like a rally. And this dude has been doing this shit for years, as far as the prove your point tent and stuff like that. And I know he did like a 20v1 and all of that stuff. Like, you have to bring them shits indoors. I heard an FBI dude say that the other day. Like, you're gonna have to start bringing these shits indoors. Just like they had to bring your boy Trump's inauguration indoors. It didn't happen on 9/11, Jen. It happened on the 10th. It happened on the 10th. But we were doing
if they have to. I think there's a reason why they did them outdoors, as probably some kind of college situation, but they're not going to rent them space or let them have any space like that. Whereas it's outdoors somewhere, it's almost like the common ground.
Well, hey, in that case, you might have to limit the amount of people going in. I mean, look, like I said, it's going to be tough to get somebody from 200 yards away if you're indoors. And also when it's indoors, I mean, you're going to be able to check people's, you're going to be able to have metal detectors, scanners, shit like that, and I mean, it's fucked up. Just imagine, bro, if you were able to be figured out or whatever, somebody could take you out just the same, just like they could take somebody that's got those conservative views or whatever. They could take somebody that's got like liberal views or independent views or whatever. I'm not gonna be cool with that anyway, because if it can happen to him, it can happen to me. It can happen to anybody that's got a platform and a voice. That's why I say people cheering that shit now, but they would be crying their eyes out tomorrow if it was, a good friend of theirs or a loved one, or what I'm saying, their loved ones would be crying their eyes out if it were them. So come on, man. I'm not saying have a heart, but this is just like this is really what like empathy is supposed to be. Like, what I'm saying? Just kind of understanding. And I'm like, unfortunately, the dude lost his life, but what's left? Family, friends, loved ones.
Every day, bro. This is the end of empathy, bro. We can mark that date. It was all kind of building up to that point anyway. We're already having conversations about black fatigue and all. And this isn't just the black thing, but I'm focusing on the black of it. And I'm telling you, this is the end of empathy. And because what it reveals isn't that the right has no empathy. It's that the left never had empathy for the right. And so now the right has no other choice but to now accept that basic truth that these people do want to kill you.
Yeah. That's deep. No, that's deep. Hey, y'all get the final thoughts out, man. I got to get up out of here, dog. I got to 9 a.m. ready to go, bro. I appreciate y'all hanging out.
I'm out of here, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me this morning.
Appreciate you, Rant. Thanks, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. You got anything? Oh, I guess it's just me, man. All right, cool. Hey, man, shout out to everybody that came through. Shout out to Rogue C. Shout out to even you, Vigoda, man. That's one of the reasons I ain't banning you. And I ain't blocking you. I ain't kicking you. I just ain't have no time to slow down the conversation for you right now. So you feel free to come up. You know what I'm saying? The next time we have a discussion, you know what I'm saying? We'll be bringing this one back on Sunday for Sunday morning coffee and chill. That'll be live exclusively on Auntie's The Boiler Room. We'll probably be doing it on or simulcasting it on both channels. That being the home of the official YT Purge and Auntie's The Boiler Room. And if any co-hosts want to come up, you wasting your time being backstage right now, though, fam. I'm kicking you again because I got to get up out of here. Motherfuckers have no respect. Hey, one thing I do not appreciate is motherfuckers that have no respect for my time. That's one thing I do not appreciate. Yo, but on that note, what up, Free Zone? Let me give a shout out to everybody that's there. Shout out to Rogue C, Truth, Hood Servative, Pagoda, you know what I'm saying? Genesis I Am. What up, Frieza? I see you, Emo. Lurk in the building too. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, Lurk. She said, you would say, yeah, I know. That's what the fucking people do. Detroit 313. I saw a Bronze Bird in the chat too earlier, bro. If you're still in the chat, salute, fam. I see you, Champa Supreme. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, TMKC, Link. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that was up here earlier. LA Project. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all coming through, hanging out with me. I got to get everything taken care of. And also, shout out to Deacon Dave. You know what I'm saying? Rogue C with the super chats and Juju, T.O. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was up here. Black Pearl, Miss V. Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful day. I got to get up out of here, man.